Welcome to another episode of What's the Word podcast. Your boy Dykeman Drew, and today I have a very, very, very special guest. So let me see where I start with the accolades. All-American basketball player at Virginia Union University, national champion, Hall of Fame for the college. You know what I mean? And continue to give back in the form of coaching as far as basketball, volleyball, soccer, badminton. This woman does it all. The very talented Miss Veta Williams.
Thank you. Hi, Drew.
How you doing?
It's a pleasure to meet you. Well, I feel like I know you already. Like you're my friend in my head.
Thank you. You've been a supporter from day one with everything that I've been doing, and I appreciate you.
Yes, thank you.
How you been? How you been holding up in this pandemic? Because I know you work in the school system, so that's got to be kind of crazy right now.
Well, we just got back in the building maybe 3 weeks ago, so we haven't really been in the building. We've been home most of the time.
Got you.
So, but it's been okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
For a teacher, real quick, how has the cyber learning thing been? Because I watch it with my daughter and I see what she goes through. How is it from the other side, from the teacher side?
It can be very difficult. Thank God I teach physical education, so it's not that bad for me per se.
Yep.
You know, I can, we have what's called Google Classroom.
Yeah.
And what we do is I can put videos on.
Okay.
The only thing that sometimes these kids don't want to open up their cameras because a lot of them are ashamed of their house or there's a lot of people. Some kids are in shelters.
Yeah.
So it can be, really tough. Yeah. So what I do is I'll make a video. I record my own videos, and I have my children, my students do the videos, and then they'll submit a worksheet of what muscle groups they work, and they'll answer questions. And when they submit that information, I'll take attendance with that information, so it's not that bad.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
trying to help them out
cool.
as much as I can.
Yeah, that's what's up. So, the questions I've been dying to ask. When did you get involved as a player? Like, when did basketball start for you?
Oh, not until 10th grade.
Wow.
I was a late bloomer.
Okay.
Only because people used to always say, "Oh my God, you're so tall. You don't play basketball?" And I was like, "No, I don't play basketball." So it kind of turned me away from basketball.
Yep.
I have 4 brothers, but none of my brothers are taller than me. I was 5'6" at age 10.
Wow.
So, tall wasn't a good thing for me because people made it seem like it was a bad thing. They'll see me, it's like, "Oh my God, you so tall for 8. Oh my God, you 6. God, you so tall." And it made it seem it was a bad thing. I didn't have tall parents.
Okay.
Again, I'm the youngest. I'm the only girl. I don't have tall brothers. So they weren't there to encourage me. It's okay to be tall. I got the jokes from them too.
Yeah.
So I was getting it from all angles, and it was embarrassing.
Gotcha.
So when I was going to high school, I went from 5'6" at 10 to 6'1" at 13, 14.
Wow.
So I walked into high school 6'1".
Wow.
As a freshman.
Freshman, yep.
And never played basketball. I was a dancer per se. I danced. I studied dance, and I just continued to do that. But dance was going to get me into college.
Gotcha.
I was like, I can't afford to go to college, so I better pick up a basketball. And it's so funny. Do you remember Joe Barry Carroll?
No.
You're kind of young, right? I'm older, little on the old school. Joe Barry Carroll was a player who played for the Purdue Boilermakers back in the late 70s, early 80s. He wasn't that big in the NBA, but he was a phenomenal college player.
Okay.
He played with Mike Jaminski around that era, Darryl Griffith.
Yes.
I think he was a 3 top recruits for the NBA that year, 1980.
Okay.
And I used to watch him play because he was so tall, and he played basketball. So I used to sit down and I used to just watch him play. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to do this. He was a quiet, low-key guy, but he was just so talented.
Got it.
So 10th grade, well, first of all, back up, 9th grade, my social studies teacher was the basketball coach, Mr. Kite.
Okay.
We just lost him last month. God bless his soul. But he came up to me. He said, "Are you Veta Williams?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, here's a permission slip. You gonna we have tryouts 2 weeks. Get it signed." And I tore it up and threw it in the garbage. I'm like, I'm not playing basketball. I can't play basketball. I'm not embarrassing myself.
Gotcha.
So the year after that, he was my teacher. His wife was my English teacher. So I
Okay.
said, well, either I do this, I'm not going to go to 11th grade because they're going to fail me. So I went to basketball tryouts, not knowing the rules, not knowing how to play, not knowing how to make a layup, absolutely nothing. So,
Wow.
of course, I went there and
Yeah.
I went to do a layup and the ball hit the backboard, bounced back half court. It's absolutely horrible. But
Gotcha.
of course, he put me in the team because I was tall. I
Mm-hmm.
was athletic,
Okay.
but I just didn't know the game.
Got it.
So, but by the end of 10th grade, I ended up on varsity. I picked up the game so quickly. And I do think like dance helps you with your coordination, with your
Absolutely.
timing.
Footwork.
So, yeah, your footwork. So I picked up on the game extremely quickly.
Okay.
So it was a cool thing to do.
So what high school is this?
Freeport High School in Long
Okay.
Island. Yeah.
So you don't play ninth grade. You've never played the game a day in your life, and you start playing as a sophomore.
Yes.
And by the end of your sophomore year, you're on the varsity team.
Yes.
So is you picked up a little bit more than fast, because there's kids that gotta wait till 11th and 12th grade to get on that varsity team in any high school.
Yeah. It was just, our coach was a great coach.
Okay.
I mean, he really ran us a lot, and he was really good. Because I remember my first game. He wasn't my coach. The JV coach was Miss Hendrickson. But he came to me and said, "How many rebounds did you have?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at him like, "What is a rebound?" I'm like, I didn't even know what a rebound was.
Got
And
you.
I was like, I don't know. Not that I didn't know how many I had. I didn't even know what a rebound was. So I
Got it.
really learned the game from basics.
So that first time you get on the court, like the first time, whether it's a start or a sub in, that first time that you know you're in the game, what was that feeling like for you, being surrounded by a bunch of people that have been doing something a lot longer than you have?
Well, I did start, thank God.
Okay.
But again, I was just so athletic.
Okay.
So even if I didn't make a lot of baskets,
Yeah.
I got a lot of rebounds. I knew
Gotcha.
how to play defense.
Okay.
So I just, focused on that. And we used to play against the varsity. So I'm very competitive. I'm like, you can't beat me. I'm not gonna let you beat me. So we used to go so hard.
Mm.
And like I said, if I didn't know, I didn't know the plays. I was horrible at that. I couldn't go. You go to the blackboard and put plays together. I'm like, my friends were like, "That's you. That's you. You go to the middle. You go to the middle. That's a press." You can pretty much tell me where to go on the court. I just didn't know.
Okay.
So what our coach really did was he made like simple plays. Like he didn't do man to man. He played 2-3 zones. And everything was a color. Like he'll go pink, go purple. And it was just like kitty ball players. But we were really good.
Okay.
But it was just hard for me to learn to play because I just wasn't used to it. It was just hard. So the first time on the court was very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't afraid to play. My mom was always at my games.
Nice.
People cheered me on. I didn't feel bad. It's just that I, just had to learn how to play. That's all.
So how long into the season did it take for the confidence to start building up inside of you, and you actually realizing, like, you know what, I'm picking it up. I understand what I can do with this?
Well, it didn't take long for me to pick it up, but the confidence didn't get into college. I still wasn't confident. Even if I hit 25 points, it was okay. But, I'm supposed to hit 25 points because I'm tall. That's how I looked at it.
Okay.
You have to understand the level of basketball in the city girls, a lot different than it was on Long Island. So, I was tall. So that's all I can think about. I'm tall, so I'm supposed to grab that many rebounds. I'm supposed to do certain things.
Got it.
Until I got to college and they started punching my ball at the gym. I was like, something tells me we're not in Kansas anymore.
I gotta try something else now.
Oh, that was a tough one, but it took a long time before my confidence was there. A long time. Yeah.
So after your sophomore year and school is done, what are you doing in the summertime to get better to approach this new challenge that you've accepted as far as the sport of basketball? Like, it's a constant thing.
Yeah.
So
nothing. I didn't play.
Oh, okay.
I did not play. I continued to work out, get dance. I was so into dance, so that was my cardio.
Okay.
We didn't have, at the time, I don't think we had summer leagues until like later on. So I really did not play.
Got you.
Most of my talent was just God given.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So your junior year, you're on varsity now because you came up as a sophomore.
Yes.
Is the responsibility on you yet, or you're still like a impact role player, or is it like, okay, we got to give Veta the ball?
No, it wasn't really on me because we had a really good guard. Our point guard was so good. We had really good guards, Leah Greggs and Clarice Pierce. They were so good.
Okay.
So again, the pressure wasn't on me to score.
Got you.
Most of my points came from offensive rebounds.
Nice.
That's where most of my points. But I had a lot of pride because back in the day, Hempstead had a phenomenal girls team.
Okay.
I mean, everybody was scared to play Hempstead High School. Then boys and girls team. They went state federation, and everybody. Like my school was predominantly white at the time. Not like it is now. But Hempstead was all black.
Gotcha.
So you had a lot of girls on my team that was very intimidated to play Hempstead.
Okay.
But I found out to be rewarding because I was like, okay, now I got an audience. And you don't want to go to the park, Centennial Park, and they like, oh yeah, y'all got smacked.
Yeah.
Or, they did this to you. I was like, oh no, I got to stay face.
Yeah.
So I played my best games against Hempstead. We may not have fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I definitely dropped my points. I got my rebounds and I had my block shots. And I got the respect. And that was it was all about the respect.
And when did college become a reality to you as far as college basketball? Because I'm sure college was what you wanted to do, but I'm saying now you're an athlete. You know what I mean? So when did that aspect kick into you? Like, you know what? I can use this ball to get me somewhere further than where I'm at right now.
I was hoping it would do that. I still wasn't there with college. I was going to the Air Force. I wasn't even going to college. I said, I'm going to go in the Air Force. I'm going to fly planes. And then people used to tell me, well, you can't fit in the cockpit. You're too tall. So I'm still getting the tall jokes. Still getting them. But both my brothers had went to the Air Force. But then colleges started calling for me. And I still didn't think I was good enough to play on that level. And then I had a guidance counselor who told me I would never get into college. There goes my, my ego. There goes my pride, my confidence, definitely. And it was like very disheartening.
Yes.
So I kind of gave up. But my coach was taking me to college. He took me to Rider College, a couple of colleges, and I played. But I still was like, I'm not good enough. I'm not going to do this. So one day we were at a banquet. A basketball banquet. I was getting all my awards and stuff, and the coach from Virginia Union called. Okay. And I was like, I've never heard of Virginia Union in my life. I didn't know what that college was. I'm like, where in the world is Virginia Union?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think so. So my mother said, oh, we're going to go visit. Because my mother's like, free college? We're going to visit.
Absolutely.
So we got on. I think it was Amtrak. We got on Amtrak, went down to Richmond, Virginia. Never been in the state of Virginia in my life. Not, just going through down south to visit your family. And we went to Virginia, and the coach came and Drew. It was an old man, and I looked at my mom. I said, "Is that the coach?" And he was shuffling. He had a pipe in his mouth, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So we got in his car, drove to campus. And I don't know if you ever visited Virginia Union.
No.
But it's like, it was like the most worst looking campus I've ever seen. Coming from Long Island and seeing different colleges. I'm like, this is the campus. So we got in the gym, and it was worse. I was like, my high school. I looked out and said, my high school gym is better than this. It was like ghetto.
Yeah, yeah.
So I took off my clothes and I put on my shorts and started playing with those girls down there. And oh my God, those girls were phenomenal players. They were, they were defending CIAA champions. CIAA down, down in the
Yes.
South.
Yep.
It was a huge conference.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
then they had Hampton was in that conference. Now they're in MEAC. They had Norfolk State, all these schools
Yeah.
pretty much branched off, but they were all a part of the CIAA then.
Okay.
And they were, defending champions. So these girls were ballers.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
from Cincinnati. They were from DC. No one was from New York.
Okay.
And I literally, those little chippy shots I was taking that got over with in high school, they were not getting over at that gym that day. And I was like, and they was looking at my friend. He's like, because he was the one that told the coach about me. So they looking at him like,
Okay.
this is who you talking about?
Yeah.
She's garbage. I was like, oh my God. But the coach took me in his office and he said, you know what? You have very strong legs. Because they go that dancing.
Dancing, yep. Yeah, dancer,
You have very strong legs. You have great coordination. He said, I know you didn't play well today, but you know what? I'm gonna sign you. I'm gonna put, if you want to come join this team, I'm gonna sign you. He said, but I'm an old man. What I'm gonna do is have you sign a contract because you didn't sign a contract back in the day. And he drew up a contract, and I signed the contract for a 4-year basketball scholarship, all expenses paid.
Wow.
Even if I don't play, if something happens, if I get hurt, they still had to pay my tuition.
Nice.
So that's the reason why I went. I ended up at Virginia Union.
Clutch.
So when I came in there, and matter of fact, Charles Oakley came in with me. We were both freshmen.
Okay.
And we came in together.
Yeah.
And of course, he was a better player, getting recruited by big time teams.
Yeah, yeah.
But I came in there my freshman year, 17 years old.
That's impressive though, man, because like you said, you started playing basketball in the 10th grade and you were able to achieve something that kids strive for from the day they pick up a basketball at 5 years old.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Salute to you. Salute to your grind. Like, that's phenomenal because that's not everybody that gets. Listen, the majority of basketball players don't even get to play college.
Right.
Like, let's be realistic. You know what I mean? And then a high level of college and even less percentage. Like you just said, they were defending champions. And they're coming to get this girl that only been playing ball 3 years. That's tough. You know what I mean? That's a huge statement. You know what I mean?
You know what? And not only that, but I started as a freshman. The only freshman recruited, and I started for this team.
Tough.
That's phenomenal. I look at it now, and I understand. Then I didn't get it.
Yep.
Now I look back, I'm like, oh, that was a big deal.
Yeah, that's huge. And you always downplay, oh, Drew this, Drew that. Man, listen, you are the real deal, man. Like, that's not easy to do. So what was that, like, that transition into the, now you're getting your grown woman on. Now you in college. Now the workouts are different. You know what I mean? The competition's different. Like, everybody's big. Everybody can move. Everybody can, you know what I mean? How was that transition for this 17-year-old girl that only has 3 years playing basketball?
The good thing about it was I was in great shape. And the lessons that Mr. Kite, my high school coach, taught me really carried over. Because when I got in the gym and they would do suicides, I would be with the guard. I was that quick because I was used to running.
Yeah.
So I found practice to be very easy. I'm like, this is practice? We ran more in high school.
Tough.
So things that I didn't know, I didn't let on that I didn't know.
Got you.
And to this day, I guess my teammates never knew I didn't know. For example, pick and roll. I was like, what is a pick? Still learning.
Yeah.
Here I'm with a 4-year scholarship and don't even know how to pick anybody. I'm like, what is that? So I just watched them. I never said anything. I just watched. Just
Okay.
watched everybody. And that's okay. They're setting the pick and they're rolling off towards the ball. So I just studied the game. And
Got you.
I just picked it. I just picked it
That's
up.
what's up, man.
Just
That's
picked it
good
up.
money right there. How'd
Yeah.
that freshman year go for you?
My freshman year was phenomenal. It had its up and down. I did well. I did well
Okay.
my freshman year. We won a championship again. It was back to back NCAA championships. I'll never forget our championship was at Norfolk. I think it was Norfolk Scope. It's, like the Coliseum, like Nassau Coliseum.
Yep.
And I never played in front of that many people in my life. Norfolk
Okay.
was our competition. Like we would split the season. I like those little girls were so much like my team.
Got it.
And we battled them. I mean, trash talk, battled them. And we went to the Norfolk Scope for the CIAA championship. It's about like a million people in there.
Yeah.
I was so nervous, but once the ball go up, I do the jump. I get that jump ball. Let's just go. So we were down at halftime. And my coach, gave us a talk, but didn't really yell at us like he usually does. I said, coach, he's not yelling at us today. So, I guess he had faith that we would come back. We came back and literally went up by like 3 points.
Okay.
And everybody just stopped playing. So I was like, what's going on? And I heard one of my teammates say, Coach! My coach had a massive heart attack on the bench.
Wow.
During a championship game.
Wow.
I will never forget the feeling that I had after that. So they rushed us up the court, took us in the locker room, and they said, you know what, guys? We're going to take the coach to the hospital. But by looking at him, you kind of knew that he was done. You could tell when somebody had, eyes rolled in the back of their head.
Yep.
You could just see like the life leave his body. That's how it looked to us.
Yep.
But they said, we're going to take him to the hospital after the game. You guys can go visit him, but you don't have to finish the game. You can be co-champions, and we can leave it at that. But we were like, no, we're not sharing nothing with Norfolk. We can't stand them girls. We're not sharing. No, we're going to play. We're going to finish this game. So we had to have someone sit on the bench because we didn't even have an assistant coach.
Wow.
So, that's HBCU, no assistant coach. We continue with the ghetto-ness.
The hood came out.
We didn't have assistant coaches. So the sports information director and the football coach, Coach Bailey, sat on the bench so we could finish the game. So we pretty much called our own plays. We stuck in and out. Because, we just did our own thing.
Yeah.
The game went into overtime, and we won the championship.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That's crazy.
That's tough. That's a movie.
It's a movie. And so we're in the locker room trying to get dressed. Let's go see Coach. Let's go see Coach. Yeah. And the team that we beat, Norfolk State, their coach was so mad and bitter that we won. He literally said, oh, your coach died. He gave us the news like that. Oh, your coach died.
Wow.
And then we was like, what? And then they announced it before somebody could tell us. He just came out like that. I'm like, oh, you a hater. Oh, my God. That was mean.
He was in his feelings for real.
He's like, yeah, you're going to stop rejoicing. Your coach is dead. Like one of those things. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
My people.
And what position are you playing, V?
I'm center.
From day one?
From day one.
Okay.
They had girls taller than me on my team, but they weren't as quick as I was.
Got you.
Because we did a lot of outlet run. We hardly ran plays. It was all rebound, outlet, and go. Okay. So I can run with the best of them.
Yep.
So that's why they put me in that position.
So you come in as a freshman, you guys win, right? You come back as a sophomore. How are you feeling as a ball player? Like, your confidence got to be sky high at this point. Like,
no, Drew.
Do you at least feel that you fit in? Did you feel you belong?
Yes, I felt like I fit in, but I felt funny because my coach wasn't there. He was gone. And not knowing how I was going to move on, because he was the one who motivated me the most. He always had, strong things to say, always boosting me and, giving me, just confidence, boosting my confidence. And now he's not there.
Okay.
So that was tough. Yeah. But
So when you try to figure out, like you said, that was your main motivation, right? That's who kept you going. Knowing that he's not there, how much deeper down did you have to dig as an individual to get yourself where you need to be and say, you know what, chin up, I got to get through this?
Well, what really happened is the men's basketball coach, Coach Robbins, Dave Robbins, he was really there for us. And a couple of guys on the basketball team. They had this guy named Curtis Powell, who was a phenomenal basketball player. He went to Arizona, but people go to these big time schools and they come back and end up at these small colleges. I guess that's what happened with Ben Wallace and a couple of the other guys who went to Virginia Union. They they could have been big time. But they ended up coming to Virginia Union. So they really helped me out. They would take me to the gym, help me with my post move, strengthen my my game. So that gave me more confidence that they had confidence in what I can do. So they motivated me to be a better player. And then now I'm working out more and running more and in the gym more. And my teammates were so good. So I wanted to be on their level. They were ballers, like strong. They were in the weight room. I never lifted weight in my life. They were strong and tough, and so I needed to be on their level.
Okay.
So now I'm going home for the summer. I'm playing. I'm at Centennial. I'm playing at Centennial Park. I'm watching the guys play, picking up their moves, just seeing how they box out, how they do things. I'm watching TV. Learning how to rebound. I think Dennis Rodman was the best at it. I studied him because he always moved without the ball. And I learned how to do that. I learned how to watch where are they on the court, where should I be when the ball's released. So that made me one of the top rebounders in the CIAA and like the number one in field goal percentage because my shots were made up of offensive rebounds.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
How summer ball? What was summer ball like for you? Because that's different than school basketball. It's summer basketball it's its own demon. Because now you're playing against people that you may never see during a school season that you may only hear about, and now you guys are hooping. You know what I mean? It's a different atmosphere. A lot of people are the average ball players let go a lot more during the summer. How's summer ball for you?
Like I say, Long Island is just not as tough. It's just not as good. But I had two friends. One coached at St. John's University, and one was a coach at New York Institute of Technology. So they would take me into the city. So I met like girls who played, like they really played. And, like girls from Brooklyn, and we would go to Roberto Clemente State Park and have tournaments, and Victor Jeffers tournament. Then we would go to West Fork. I'd never been to West Fork, never heard of West Fork. So they put me in all these tournaments. So now I'm balling with the big girls, like Baki and Nudie, and I think Queen Latifah Dana used to play, and just all these people. Red, this girl from New Jersey, and just like Hazel. You probably know Hazel. I don't know. I forgot her son.
Did she become a ref?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen him in so long.
Got you.
But her son, I can't remember his name. I know you know her son. Okay. I know you would know because they got all of these names like from those basketball names.
Got you. Yeah.
And they had kids, and their kids end up being great players, and that's those streetball players, and Rutger players. So. Yeah.
What was West 4 like for you when the first time you came down there and you played in that small basketball court? Because that thing
terrifying.
It must be. It has to be.
Because if you mess up, they would just kill you in the night.
Absolutely.
Remember, I'm still trying to get my confidence.
Got you.
But you know what? But on the other hand, it made you play.
Yeah.
It just made you play, but it was a quick game. but I was used to quick. I was used to being fast with it, so that didn't bother me.
Gotcha.
But it just made me a better player. I just really think that had a lot to do with me elevating my game. So when I did go back to Virginia Union, I was a much better player. My
Okay.
mother couldn't believe the player I was from high school. When she saw me playing college, she couldn't believe I was the same kid.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, once you started playing summer basketball and you got exposed to a lot more basketball full time. What did it do for you when you came back to school and you guys had to embark, because you guys are back-to-back champs? Now you're coming in for your sophomore year. Now you're a different player.
Yeah,
So
different player.
What was that like for you?
It was phenomenal. I mean, people could say, "Oh, you was playing over the summer." You know, people noticed that I was really playing, and I got better at the short range jumper. I never take jumpers
Got you.
because we weren't allowed to dribble the ball. He's like, big girls don't dribble the ball.
Okay.
So now I'm dribbling the ball, and they was like, no, no, no. I'm dribbling the ball, taking jumpers. And
Okay.
they were like, no, but then it go, oh, okay, good shot.
Good shot.
But it was awesome. We went back to the CIAA championship against that same team, Norfolk State. But we ended up losing by like 3 points.
Okay.
But we ended up going to the NCAA, got a bid. We played Norfolk State again for the first game. We beat them.
Okay.
And we were ranked 15. That was our ranking, 15.
Got you.
Going into the NCAA. And we end up winning the championship at a 15th seed against the number 1 seed defending champions, Cal Poly Pomona out of California.
Wow.
That was...
That's tough, V. That's tough. That's
like
tough.
I said, at the time, I didn't even realize the seeding. I didn't realize all of that. Now you see, like 15 be the number 1 defending champion.
Big deal.
Big deal.
Big
and,
deal.
You know, we went there and we played University of Dayton I think we played them in the Final Four. Those girls, now, before we even got to the quarterfinals, we played Valdosta State University.
Okay.
The center was 6'6". The forwards were like 6'5", 6'4". The guard was my height.
Got you.
So, you know, I remember Charles teasing me. He's like, you're going to get smacked today. You're going to get smacked today. Because the game was at Virginia Union.
Okay.
You know, like, you can't smack me in my home.
Yeah.
You just can't do that.
Yep.
So we ended up upsetting them. And then we went to, I think we played Quinnipiac.
Quinnipiac?
Okay. And those girls were all from Brooklyn. They talk so much mess at our banquet, and I'm just sitting there. My team's not paying them any attention.
Yeah.
Because they don't know Brooklyn. They don't know what that is. And I'm looking like, oh my goodness, these girls from Brooklyn. They are just talking all this. They go smack us. Yeah. But we got in there and we rattled them so much. They would argue amongst each other. We just threw them all out their game. Because, you know, we were little corny kids as they see us. You know, corny country girls. They can't ball. Man, we smacked those girls so bad and we sent them home. Then we played Dayton. We were down 18 points in the Final Four. 18 points at halftime. Because those girls were huge. I said, guys, you can't keep throwing me the ball. You got to open up the key. You know, you got to open up the middle.
Yeah.
And we came out there and we ran them. We ended up beating them by 18 points.
Wow.
Just running. And keep in mind, Drew, that the coach who was coaching us was the sports information director man who they just sat on the bench and they just gave him the job. No interviews. They just put him in place. So we were coaching ourselves the whole year.
Yeah, basically.
The entire year, we ran our own plays. And like he wouldn't call timeout because he didn't know to call timeout. Yeah. And I remember one time the team was coming on us and our God said, yo, coach, call timeout. So she called timeout. He's like, who called timeout? She said, I did. You should have called timeout a long time ago. And she was pissed. So we pretty much coached ourselves into a national championship.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Prior to getting into the NCAA tournament, did you know about it? Did you know how big of a deal it was? No. Did you know? Okay, got you.
Not a clue.
Got you. So
you know, heard of Final Four. You
Yep.
must have met the boys' games. I didn't even know. I did know the girls because Pat Summit was big then, and with the
Yes.
Tennessee Volunteers. UConn wasn't on the map. It
Yep.
was Tennessee. That was the team, or Cynthia Stringer teams.
Okay.
Rutgers and
Yep.
those teams like that. And so I did know of the Final Four. And Cheryl Miller in the USC, they were big.
Yeah.
Cheryl Miller and Pam and Paula McGee, all
Yeah.
those girls, they were
Yeah.
huge. So I
Okay.
did know about the but I didn't know it was on our level. I didn't know Division Two had an
Okay.
NCAA because my freshman year we didn't have it. I don't think we
Got it.
went to the Final Four. I mean, we went to the NCAA tournament. So I really didn't know.
Stepping into that atmosphere with all those people and all those teams, what was that like for you as a ball player, experiencing it, taking it all in? Like, what was that like?
Again, I really didn't know what to expect. I just knew we just had to play. So,
Okay.
we had a big busload of our classmates. They
Yep.
all came down the big bus. So we had our little crowd, and my parents were there, and my cousins. So it was just excited that everybody was there.
Got you.
And it's so funny because when you get to on that level and you get to a point where you can win a national championship, you have curfew.
Yeah.
You got to get off your feet. You know that stuff now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then we were in the pool. We were
Got.
eating McDonald's. We were just hanging out.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
weren't eating like we were just doing whatever we want to do because it's like we just got a game.
Yeah. 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 I got you.
Not paying attention to anything.
Yeah.
So when we got there, that was raw talent. This was raw talent, and we just played. And
y'all did more than played. Y'all made history. That's your junior year, right?
This is my sophomore year.
Your sophomore year. Okay,
Yes.
your sophomore year. Your sophomore year.
Sophomore year.
So winning a national championship as a sophomore, right? Are you thinking yet? I want this game to take me to that next level. I'm trying to be the best college ball player I can be, but because I don't know how the overseas things was for the women back then opposed to how it is now. So are you thinking I want to get this degree, or are you thinking I want to turn professional?
I'm thinking I want to get this degree.
Good.
I didn't even know they had professional basketball overseas.
Got you. Yeah, exactly. Because I wasn't sure how big of a deal it was back then.
Big. I just wanted to get my degree.
Yep.
And so, we went back to the national championship my junior year. Went back to the national championship, but by this time, a lot of our players were gone. A lot of our, like strong players.
Yep.
But we were still pretty good.
Yeah.
We went back to the national championship and we lost in the finals. So we went all the way back to the finals. But I wanted to win only because, of course, you want to win a national championship. But the year before, they had closed down school. The governor came to our campus. The mayor came to our campus. And everybody was it was just a great feeling, which I wasn't expecting.
Okay.
So that's what, I was like, okay, I like this. I'm not even looking at it as like national champions. I'm just looking at it like that was so much fun. We made people proud. The mayor, the governor, friends, families, everybody. So I would come home and people was like, oh, I saw you on TV. People I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I was like, who are you? So that was a great feeling. That was a great feeling. So my junior year, I did a lot better.
Okay.
I scored like 39 points and 20 rebounds in the national championship game. That was like
39 and 20.
39 and 20. From the kid who couldn't play.
Yeah.
The kid who guidance counselor told her she was never getting into college.
Yeah.
Those
the kid that was teased for being tall. How tall are you by the time you get to college?
I just grew 1 inch.
Okay, 6'2"?
So I'm 6'2", yes.
Got you.
Yeah.
And yeah, like your bucket list is very impressive in a small window. You know what I mean? Because we're still talking less than 5 years.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you got back-to-back championships. You got a national championship. You back to the national championship. And like that's listen, I've coached kids, and I have teams of kids that haven't been able to do half of those things that really, gave it their all. Like that's a big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, to think about it, like you started playing basketball as a sophomore, and by the time you're a junior, you've been to a national championship twice. A college national championship twice by the time you're a junior in college. Like, that's unheard of. 39-20 in the chip game. Like, that's
and got
real.
All-American status. They voted me All-American Spalding, All-American women's basketball player.
Yep.
Held a record. I think Yolanda Griffith broke my record.
Okay,
Yolanda
what was
Griffith.
it?
The
39-20?
Yeah, okay. She broke my record. But it was a couple of years down the road. But I held on to it for a little while.
That's tough. That's tough.
Amazing.
39-20 is tough.
39-20. Yeah.
So when you come back for your senior year, what was that like?
You're gonna be surprised. I did not play my senior year.
You got hurt?
No. I had the worst relationship with the coach who stepped in.
Wow.
And a coach can make you or break you.
Absolutely.
All the kids out there,
yeah, absolutely.
Your coach can damage you so much. But he always had a problem with me. I don't know what the problem was. And, my mother saw it too. Because one time my mother bought me some things. Like, she would buy us stuff. She'll talk Adidas was out there. So she would bring some for, some of the girls on my team. And he was like, why are you bringing her that? She don't deserve it. Like really put me down a lot. And it didn't bother me as much my freshman. Well, he wasn't there my freshman year, but my sophomore, my junior year, because he got real cocky my junior year because he figured he was the reason why we won a championship when he wasn't. So he got real cocky. But those leaders we had are now gone. Gotcha. So now I'm a senior, but everybody else who was in leadership positions, they're all gone. Okay. So now we have these new girls coming up, shooting from half court, not following the protocol, not doing anything right. So I have a problem with it, and I complained. So that didn't work out so well.
Got you.
So I guess he figured. So I know I have my contract, but he doesn't know I have a contract. Yes. So he's trying to attack me. He's trying to get me on that. So he quotes up, well, she's not listening. She's off the team. I said, okay. Think I'm gonna argue. Think I'm gonna beg and plead. I'm a senior. I want my degree.
That degree's right there, and that's what we're here for. Yeah.
So I'm All-American. Yep. I got national championship. I got a conference championship back to back. I don't need you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he told my mother that she had to pay the bill. My mother said, no, she has a contract. Yeah, ain't nobody has a contract. My mother Xeroxed it, mailed it to Virginia Union, and said, if you have anything else to say, talk to my attorney.
There you go.
So now you have to pay my bill, and I'm not playing. So the Norfolk State coach, Hampton coach, Coach Sweat, they were like, come to Hampton, come to London. But I was like, no, I just want to, at that point, he took like the air out of it. You know what I'm saying? He just really, so I said, you know what? I just want to graduate. But because I was doing some education courses, I had to do an extra semester. So guess what I did? I played volleyball.
There you go. There you go.
I was the captain of the volleyball team. And so Ren, I was like, coach, she played on the basketball team, but then she coached volleyball. Ren Thomas. She put me on a team. I was captain. I played September to December. Got out, graduated.
That's what's up, B. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Congrats to you and salute, because that's real. That's a whole movie right there.
But you know what? People have to realize something. When they're playing these sports, do more than one. Because I played volleyball in high school. I played badminton. I played soccer. I played basketball. I didn't stick to soccer, but they stick my shins one time, and I was okay, I quit.
Out of here.
That was negative. But I was always an athlete.
Gotcha.
Even though I wasn't, always on teams, I was even physical education class.
Yeah.
I gave it my all. I was an athlete. So that's what, made me prevail. And when I really needed that background in volleyball, I had it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So you get through your 4 years. What are you thinking now? Because like you said, you didn't know about the basketball aspect after college for women. You know what I mean? So what are you thinking about as Veta Williams, the grown woman, not so much the basketball player?
Get the job.
Got you. Say that.
But I always wanted to be a physical education teacher since 6th grade. Virginia Union did not have physical education. So I focused a lot on special education and therapeutic recreation. So I learned how to sign, and so I'm fluent in sign language. And I said, okay, I want to work with a population of kids who are, mentally disabled or physically disabled. So I did go over to Spain for a little while.
Nice.
And came back. And so I just started working at Creedmoor in Queens.
Okay.
It was called Bernard Feinstein Developmental Center, where I was a therapeutic recreation specialist. And I was with the Special Olympics. I was a training director for the Special Olympics. So I literally did that for 17 years.
Nice.
But in the meantime, I still wanted to be a phys ed teacher. That's what I still wanted. So, I would go and work Hofstra basketball camp, in the summertime.
Yep.
And that's how I was introduced to Jay Wright.
Okay.
That's how I met Jay. I didn't know who Jay Wright was. I don't know how I didn't know who Jay Wright was. He was Hofstra was like literally in walking distance of my house. But I just never paid attention to anything because I didn't think any black people was on Hofstra men's basketball team.
Got you.
They got black people? I didn't know they had black people. But they had won the American East Championship.
Yep.
So I saw them on TV. So I said, that's when I realized, okay. And that's when Speedy Claxton was on the team. Norm Richardson, Roberto Gittins, Rick Apodaca, all these guys, Jay Hernandez, all of them.
Yeah.
So when I came to work the basketball camp, I was working, I had Jay Wright's kids on my team, but I had the babies. They always put with the little kids.
Yep.
And they were really little then. Like the kids were like 8, 9 years old, 7, 8, 9. So, every parent watched their kids. So Jay would be in the window watching his kids. And so, we get to the mealtime, the lunchtime, and I was like a drill sergeant. Let's go, clean up. Get your wrappers. Throw that in the garbage.
Yeah.
And I guess Jay was like watching. This another thing you have to understand. Someone's always watching you.
Always.
I tell my students, someone's always watching you. And he was watching me, watching the way I conducted myself with the kids, my discipline area, everything. He was just watching me. And so he was asking people about me. I'm like, why is he asking people about me? Because he thought I was younger than I was.
Got you.
So, and I think I went to him and I was talking about something. We used to coach in Rochester. He knew my friend's brother.
Okay.
So, and I was like, do you know guy? And he said, yeah, how do you know him? I said, well, he's younger than I am, but, and so he's like, how old are you? I said, I'm right behind you. Because I think Jay was at the time like 37, 38. I was 36, 37.
Okay.
And I guess he's like, wow. Because you don't want a young girl working with a bunch of boys. You just don't want that, you know. So you got to be careful with that.
Yep.
So he started at people was like, Jay Wright's been asking about you. Jay Wright's asking were you married. I'm like, why is he asking if I'm married? What's up with that? But, I learned later on that it's because, people are funny. You have a spouse and you with a bunch of men, things can get really messy.
Yep.
So I ended up going to his office, talking to him. He wanted me to be a part of his staff. I didn't know why. Didn't understand why. But when he said he'll pay for my master's in phys ed, I said, okay, whatever you want me to do. I don't have to pay $970 a credit.
Yep.
It's on. That's how I ended up with Hofstra men's basketball team.
How was that?
Oh, that was awesome. I was administrative assistant. The good thing about that with Jay's vision was those guys could come to me and tell me things that they wouldn't tell him.
Got it.
and I can handle it before it gets to a point where the media gets
Yeah.
it, or it gets out of control.
Got you.
And that's exactly what happened. Those were like my little brothers. I had them over my house, feeding them.
Yep.
Rick Apple with the banana pudding, and they did lasagna. Matter of fact, I was at Rick's house a couple of months ago. I drove all the way to New Jersey to take him a pan of banana pudding. So 20 years later, I'm still spoiling them. But they were like my little brothers. You know, like Norm would have an assignment. He was majoring in communication. And I would go to his class and help him with his project, you know, be one of the guests for his projects. And
Got you.
I would talk to them because, you know, I know Jay had pretty much was married at the time. Jay married young. Yeah. And he had his little, his daughter already. Okay. So, you know, he was straight. Jay was pretty straight.
Gotcha.
He was like more grown up.
Yeah.
Rick.
That's a different type of individual right there.
But I kept him close. I kept Rick close. Yeah. But a sweetheart. It's just that Rick was just Rick. He was a pretty boy. The girls loved Rick. And they would come to the gym and they's like, Veta handle. Jay would say, Veta handle that. What does she want? And I was like, could you please go? We're in practice. Could you please just go?
Yeah, I experienced that with him in Puerto Rico. I was with him one of his last years that he was still playing, and I'm out there for 2 weeks. I'm staying with him in his crib, and we're going to the supermarkets, and they're stopping him for pictures. Women are coming, telling their husband to take the pictures. Like, it was crazy, man. It was crazy. That dude is different, man. He's different.
But he has the biggest heart.
Great dude.
Very protective. Yeah. One time we were playing against South Florida. Mm-hmm. And do you know Kenny Adeleke?
No.
Do you remember Kenny? Kenny was a younger guy. He was a Robeson.
Okay.
But Kenny gave one of the guys on South Florida my room number.
Okay.
Because the guy thought I was a manager.
Gotcha.
So he's like, yo, let me get her number. Kenny, don't think. He gave him my number. So Rick is with me. So I went in the room to get something, and the phone rings. I said, Rick, pick up the phone. The guy's on the phone.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, yo, who's this? And he's like, yo, V, you know him? You know him? He's like, yo, don't be calling my coach. He was like, yo, how he get your number? And he making me feel like,
he put you on the pressure.
I'm like, wait a minute. Come to find out later on, Kitty gave him my number.
Got you.
Those were like my little brothers. I just adore, and to this day, I still stay in contact with them. Anything they ask me for, they have. I absolutely love those guys.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. As far as coaching for you, is it ever anything you wanted to pursue, like full time? You wanted to coach, or like in that aspect of basketball?
No.
No.
No, I never wanted to be a coach. You know, Jay kept asking me that. You want to coach? You want to coach? You want to coach? But I just noticed, you know, working with men team it was really good. It was very promising. I had a great time. I learned a lot. A lot of coaches didn't want to shake my hand, but this is okay. It's okay. Or I would shake their hand after a game. They looked like each other. Like, I had coaches ask me, why would you want to be with a men's team? And my whole thing is, why not?
Yeah.
But, you know, it's nothing now because, you know, you see all the Teresa Weatherspoon and Becky Hammond.
Absolutely.
But we're talking about 20, 21 years ago. And even, you know, guys I dated was like, why you got to be with guys' team? Why don't you work with the women's team? And, you know, So my whole thing was, I feel that I can do whatever I want to do. I can achieve anything I want to achieve. And it didn't matter that they were guys. You know, you got to be okay with yourself, you know. And that confidence, once I got that confidence in college, that was it. You know, that's all I needed. Because now every time I go forward, I'm confident with everything I do. Any and everything. I can do anything. I can achieve anything. I don't need you to tell me. I don't need you to boost me up. I can do whatever I want to do. So that's what I try to install in my students and the youth and everybody I run into. I always try to be positive. That's how I met you. You know,
Yep. Absolutely.
You were just doing great things.
Appreciate it.
You know, I learned a lot from the people that you were interviewing, and I would just shout you out like, "Oh, this is great." I try to ever hate on people.
Yep.
I try to support everybody if it's possible. Even the little notes on Instagram, I don't know half those people, but I always say, that's awesome, sis. Or congratulations. Or, keep working, keep pushing. Because we have to learn how to lift each other up. We have enough people breaking us down.
Absolutely,
so,
man.
There's people on Instagram I've never met, but I will definitely make it my business to meet them one day when the world opens back up. One lady, she's in Texas. She likes tennis. I said, oh, when the U.S. Open, come to New York. We'll go to a tennis match. Never met the lady. But you know what? It's what we do.
Yeah. And you stay busy. Cause I see you always doing something, you always somewhere, you know what I mean? So in the year 2021, what's life like for Miss Veta Williams? You heard me or no?
Yeah, you kind of froze a minute, but 2021 is the beginning of a new life. I am retiring in June.
I don't understand how that's even legit, because like when you started talking about the years that you were hooping, I'm like, this lady does not look older than me. So for her to be telling me that she was doing this at this, I'm like, okay, I gotta go get some Just for Men or something for myself.
You're fine, Drew.
You're retiring soon, you said?
I got 34 years in. I am done in June.
God bless. Congratulations, man. That's
kind of
what's
hard.
up.
It's like I'm gonna cry because my kids miss my students. They're like, don't retire. But I have to move on. I still want to work with the youth because I think it's so much more I can do.
Yeah.
So much more I can do with these young people. I want to get to more games. I want to support more, financially. And I want to just, even my kids now, they're out of school, they're in college, and I see them on Instagram. And then one of my students said yesterday, I got a new apartment. Nice. So I sent her $50. I said, just have lunch on me or get something. I'm not rich.
Yeah.
God is blessing me.
Yeah.
And I know that He will supply all my needs.
Yes.
So I try to be giving because I know I get it back. So, I just try to support. But I'm gonna miss my students.
Do they know who their coach? Do they know who their teacher is?
Most of them do not. When they find out, some of them find out, they say, well, what are you doing here? I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Only one time I started to leave, but I couldn't. 2009, Villanova had just went to the Final Four.
Okay.
And they lost, I think, to North Carolina, some team. I think it was North Carolina, because Ed Davis, one of my friend's son, matter of fact, his mother and father both went to Virginia Union, so I knew him when he was a kid. And he was like pouncing Villanova. So Jay was trying to recruit him, but Michael Jordan, between me and Michael Jordan telling the kid to go to a school, Michael's gonna win every time.
Good luck.
So I went to the banquet, the end of the year banquet, or to a game somewhere I went, and I was talking to Jay. He was like, Peter, I want you to be director of basketball operations for Villanova men's basketball team. And I was like, oh my God. It's like a lump with my throat. And I was like, you want to say, of course.
Yeah.
But I had just started working in 2004 teaching. I'm finally teaching now. I got my degree, my master's. I'm teaching now. I'm an adjunct professor at Manhattanville College. I'm teaching a class there, graduate class. I'm doing what I always wanted to do. So I was like, I can't leave. First I told myself, I think about it, because I just couldn't say no right there. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
this is the bomb. This is the bomb. You know what I'm saying? I said, I can't leave. But I couldn't leave my kids.
Gotcha.
Because I wasn't satisfied. My loyalty runs deep.
I see.
I couldn't leave them because I just wasn't satisfied.
Got you.
I wasn't satisfied. So I ended up just staying. It was killing me. And Jay said, I can't believe she's turning me down.
Yeah, I can't believe it either.
I know.
You're a trendsetter though, man. You're doing what wasn't cool to do and wasn't allowed to be done.
Yes.
You did it a long time ago. You know what I mean? And as much like whenever I give you credit for anything and you always say, oh no, it's not that serious, and like as humble as you are, trust me, when I was interviewing Rick and he had said something to you, he spoke to me. He was like, yo, that's real good peoples. That's my peoples right there. So I, computer age, and I'm like, real good peoples. This lady's a dog right here. Like, she did a lot. Like, she get it in. And then I reach out to you and you're like, oh no, it's not that serious. I'm like, what? You are a piece of history. Like, you're a trendsetter, you're a legend, a GOAT, how we say it. I salute you, and I'm honored to have taken the time to share that story with me and my viewers, because I do respect and look up to what you've done and what you've achieved as an individual very highly.
But Drew, you're the best, though. I mean, I was like, watching everything. When's Drew gonna be back on? When he's gonna be back on? I'm like watching all your. I met so many people through you, and just I think it's Nakia. That's his name, Nakia.
Yeah, Fab, Nakia Miller.
I didn't know him. I've never heard of him.
Gotcha.
So I'm back and forth with him now. I just want to. I look for the day I can meet you all, give you a big squeeze and hug.
Yeah. Once normal is normal. Once we find out what normal is, then we can be normal again.
Yeah, but I just want everybody to, whatever you're doing, like, just be loyal. Just don't, just keep, things may seem better.
Yeah.
But everybody has a purpose. And,
absolutely.
Your season will come.
Yep.
So, that wasn't for me. Even though I really wanted it, it just wasn't what I needed. God will put you where he wants you to be.
Yeah, all the time.
He will put you in. I love Jay Wright, because Jay has always been there for me. My mom got really sick in 2016, and she's like 3 of her valves were destroyed. Wow. So she had to get like a triple valve replacement surgery. Anybody know me? You know me and my mother, that like my best friend.
Gotcha.
And Jay was going to the championship. So you know how it is going to the championship.
Tough, yeah, intense.
And Jay literally took time out. I texted him. I said, Jay, my mom is sick. I just want to wish you good luck in the game. And he sent a big thing of like a fruit, a bouquet of like a big fruit basket to my mom in the hospital. I mean, you took time out. You could have waited after the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
He took time out to do that. Anytime I text him, he texts me right back.
Yeah.
Anything. So, I gotta be loyal. I'm gonna be loyal. And anybody ever need anything from me, if I can give it to you, I'll give you the shirt off my back. And I literally have done that. This lady's like, I like that shirt. I literally took it off and gave it to her. It was a shirt of Tigger, Pooh and Tigger. I'm like, she's like, for real? I'm like, yeah, you can have it.
But what are you gonna do with all this time you're about to have on your hands, V?
I am going to volunteer.
Because your energy is up.
If you need me, Drew, I'm there for you.
Say less. I am
going to volunteer. I am going to go around and do the, I really want to encourage kids and teach them how to do that NCAA eligibility center.
Okay.
Because I was with one of my friends one time. He's a coach, and he was talking to another coach, and this girl she wasn't qualified to play, and I was I'm like, what does that mean? He was telling me, and I'm like, why these kids graduate from high school without qualifications, or why are they 12th grade and they don't have the qualifications to play it NCAA? They get cleared by the eligibility center because they're not telling them. The guidance counselors are not doing their job.
Yeah,
so I was going around the schools and I was doing like lectures on it. Nice. I had my little pamphlet. I had my little sample package. Follow this. Yeah. And so I want to continue doing that. Just educate people on that. I want to, still do clinics, one-to-one workouts. I just want to, whatever somebody needs me. So you need me, Drew, I will be there.
I'm trying to plug my niece. In with you. See if she.
Where is she?
No, she's out here with me, but I take her down to the city in the summers to try to expose her to the real basketball. Because I'm in PA. She's 16.
Oh, okay. That's a good age. Yes.
I'm in PA. So her mom and her sister, their family moved out here last year, and she just started playing basketball in 9th grade.
Give her my number, Drew.
Give her
my number. I'd be more than happy to reach out to her. and just do whatever I can to
I
help
appreciate you,
along.
V. Thank you
Yep.
so much. I
Yep.
appreciate you. I appreciate you again for doing this and taking out the time
Thanks,
to
Drew.
share this story with me. You're the best, man.
It's nice meeting you.
Absolutely. Likewise. Finally.
Yes. It's my pleasure. God bless you.
Thank you, and God bless you as well. And again, thank you for taking out the time to do this. And
You're welcome.
I appreciate you, V.
I appreciate you also.
You stay blessed, and I will stay in touch because I'm always on your feed, so you already know how it is.
Yes, definitely.
All right, take care.
You keep doing what you do.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Again, that's the legendary. You heard that woman's story, man. What she did in the time that she did it is nothing less than phenomenal, and I salute her. I know a lot of pro ball players that didn't get to do half of what she did. And for a woman doing what she did when she did it, it meant a lot more. So salute to Miss Veta Williams. Always love. I appreciate her. I appreciate you guys. And until the next time I'm on here, I'll holla at y'all, man. See you.